Welcome to Declassify. I'm Victoria Pham, and I'm the host and producer for this podcast. Declassify is all about the classical music industry, its past, and how this relates to its current state and the challenges that this facet of the wider arts industry is facing. In light of the world's recent events and the increasing and necessary conversations that relate to systemic inequality, I and several of those in this community have begun to think more deeply about how the questions of diversity, accessibility, and representation relate to and affect the classical music industry and its changing audience. The heart of this podcast is to critically unpack these difficult and complex topics, to ask why things are the way they are. How can we understand the perpetuation of some of the traditions that are now likely to be outdated and archaic? How does music education and the economics of arts affect what an audience eventually engages with on stage or on screen? And why this industry wishes to hold on to its historical image? And despite this, how can it be a platform for more diverse artists and storytelling whilst maintaining a connection to its audience base who also enjoy a program of classics from the classics? This conversational series features in-depth discussions between myself and one guest per episode. Each of these episodes will allow for us to structurally unpack aspects of the classical music industry in order to address some of the deeper issues that connect an art form with society. We have a great list of Australian guests for you to listen to over the coming weeks and months, from composers, directors of ensembles, even some voices you'll probably recognise from the radio waves, through to conductors, performers, and advocates for diverse representation. Although myself and the series guests are Australian and will be focusing on the Australian music world, I hope that the breadth of the issues we will discuss will also resonate with industry practices and the international arts community. I'd like to welcome each of you to listen to and engage with the conversations that will follow throughout the Declassify series. I'll also mention that there'll be transcripts, including one for this little spiel I'm making, that'll be available for each episode, and I'll pop the information about how to access them into the podcast description. I hope that if anything, they give you a chance to start your own conversations and to ponder where an industry is held in the public's imagination, why this may be the case, and how profound the power of representation can be. Cheers for listening, and catch you all soon.